going to look at poetry and its components like poetic structure. So it's Unit 2, Writing of Whitman, the section. So we'll look at the poetic structures and what kind of things the poets use in their writing. So traditional epic poetry tells a long story about a hero whose adventures embody the values of a nation. So basically, they are epic because they represent the nation and the nation's values and morals. Today, many readers consider Leaves of Grass an American epic because it expresses national ideals. Underlying the poem's diverse subjects is the constant echo of an epic theme, which means like the theme is that all people are inherently equal and connected by the shared experience of being alive. Whitman uses specific poetic structures to establish a sense of epic suitable for this theme. So the first one is the free verse. Free verse, unlike formal verse, like which has rhyme and strict rules, free verse has irregular meter, no rhyme scheme, and varying line lengths. It simulates natural speech. It's like a conversational type. Free verse allows Whitman to shape every line and stanza to suit his meaning rather than fitting his message to a form. So here it says, do I contradict myself? Very well then, I contradict myself. So it doesn't have to rhyme. It's like conversational with question marks as well. So we call this free verse. Anaphora. So anaphora is a type of rhetorical device. It's the repetition of a word, or it can be a group of words at the beginnings of successive sentences or sections of the text. It creates a majestic tone and rhythm. So here, look at these examples. If they are not yours as much as mine, if they are not the riddle and the untying of the riddle, if they are not just as close as they are distant. So here, if they are not, they are anaphora because it's repeated in different sections of the text, and at the beginning they repeat it. Catalog is, you know, when you open a catalog, let's say IKEA catalog, you're going to shop, they list the objects and the items in the catalog. So it's the same. So Whitman's use of catalogs or lists of people, objects, or situations evokes the infinite range of elements that make up human experience. I am enamored, he writes, of the builders and steerers of ships, and the wielders of axes and mauls, and the drivers of horses. So all of these builders, steerers of ships, wielders, mauls, drivers, all of these, it's a list. He is listing the type of jobs. If we look at like a normal daily language, not the poetic one, we can find still examples from the modern language. So for free verse, we said poetry without rules, no set rhyme, rhythm, or pattern. Example, the folk comes in on little cat feet. You see, it doesn't even rhyme like at the end. Parallel structure, in the other video, we did parallel structure in detail. So it's the repetition of words or phrases and structure. So the structure has to be the same. I am largely indifferent to what is largely important. So largely here and grammatically the structure is the same. Anaphora, we said repetition of an initial word, or it can be the whole phrase. We shall fight on the beaches. We shall fight on the landing grounds. We shall fight in the fields and in the streets. So we shall fight is repeated. Catalogs, list of items. In her bag, she had pins, nickels, socks, clocks, tickets for shows long ago. So let's look at some examples and I'll try to answer them. So look at this poem, read it, stop the video and read it. The first question, it says, how does the poem exhibit free verse? So when we look at it, There is no rhyme, no meter, no rules. So we can say the poem has no rhyme scheme, regular pattern, or regular rhythm. It says find an example of parallel structure in the poem. So we have to find same grammatical structure in the poem. And when we look at it, we in the second line, it says, like an ironing board I never wanted to see again, only kidding, not kidding. So here, in these lines, only kidding, not kidding is an example of parallel structure. Where do you see anaphora in the poem? Look at this one. Which ones are repeated at the beginning of the sentence? Turned out, turned out. So we can say anaphora is in those lines. The repetition of turned out is an example of anaphora. Identify an example of a catalog in the poem, meaning listing. So listing, you can see from the commas used one after another. Irony was my best friend, my companion, my running mate. You see, like three things, one after another. So also it creates a parallel structure, but at the same time, we call it a catalog. So this sentence is the example of catalog for number 4. Second poem. Stop the video and read this. My friend Jay likes bad coffee. So how does the poem exhibit free verse? Same answer that we gave in the first poem. The poem has no rhyme scheme, regular pattern, or regular rhythm. Let's find an example of parallel structure in the poem. He's afraid of liking good coffee, then he won't be liking bad coffee is an example of parallel structure. Liking is the same structure. Where do you see anaphora in the poem? We see it, it tastes good, and it gives him, but it's expensive. It's similar to anaphora. We cannot say like maybe it's not full anaphora, but it is similar to anaphora because it followed by a verb, like it tastes, it gives, it's expensive. So they all start with the word it. And the example of a catalog, it tastes good, sort of, and it gives him soothing to do in coffee shops. But it's expensive. It doesn't taste all that good. Actually, is an example of catalog. So he just put the same idea one after another. In the next section, you're going to write your own poem, or if you're having difficulty, you can find one on the internet, but you have to answer all these questions related to the poem you find or you write. So you have to show how does your poem exhibit free verse. So it has to be a free verse poem, not with rules, not with rhymes or rhythm. So you have to identify the parallel structure, anaphora, and catalog in the poem that you choose. So you can type this on the same worksheet and submit your worksheet on Pearson. So I'll see you in another video lesson. Take care. See you. Bye-bye.